Throughout history, there are many examples of crowdfunding, but it was with the widespread use of internet and the explosion of the social media that crowdfunding became what it is today. A great way to collect money from a large number of people for a specific purpose through a digital online platform. And it is also a great tool to enhance productivity through participation thanks to co creation and value sharing techniques. It is possible to achieve faster, cheaper, and more efficient results in many areas. In the last 10 years, crowdfunding platforms became digital venues capable of aggregating large number of people eager to participate in building a project of common interest and to contribute to the success of a story. It is an overall market that now raises more than 7 billion annually. The first model of crowdfunding in digital area was donation-based crowdfunding, whose purpose was to collect money just for cause without offering anything in exchange. This model is typical and still very effective for charity purposes. Soon evolved into reward-based crowdfunding once people understood that it was easier to involve people in a project by offering small rewards against their donations. Reward-based crowdfunding today is a large phenomenon and a well-known digital tool to engage people and collect money. You launch a project on a crowdfunding platform, tell your story, and ask for economic contribution, offering something in exchange. Depending on the kind of reward offered, we can identify three different models. A first model of reward-based crowdfunding is very close to the donation-based framework. The reward is just a tool to thank the crowd for their efforts and contributions. The value of the reward is small and not comparable to the financial contribution received. It might be a public thank on a website, a card, a t-shirt, anything suitable to express the gratitude of the project owner without having a substantial economic value. Usually, it is something that incorporates some of the features and values shared by the crowd who supported the campaign. The understanding of the outstanding capacity to communicate, to create a positive and constructive environment, and to engage people was the basis for an evolution of this model. The purpose of crowdfunding might be far beyond a simple fundraising. Crowdfunding can be a perfect way to open debates, to create consensus around the project, to share values, and get the commitment of plenty of people around the project. The achievement of these purposes might be far more valuable than collecting money and greatly cheaper and more effective than an advertising campaign. Crowdfunding is a communication tool that has changed the world of media. Under this approach, the kind of rewards offered and their value might follow totally unrelated logics. A very interesting example is that crowdfunding campaign of Firenze Opera House. The project aimed to spread the culture of opera outside its typical boundaries, getting to people that had never experienced this kind of music, besides establishing a solid corporate image that would have been useful to export the opera production around the world. Some of the rewards offered were totally unrelated to opera, such as visits in the Chianti region, wine experiences, unique museum exploration, special non-lyrical performances, as for instance a fantastic New Year Eve acoustic concert performed by Mika with the opera's symphonic orchestra. Even the value of most rewards was something economically unrelated to the donation. It was important to connect people and to engage the crowd around the opera concept, more than just collecting money. The third model of reward-based crowdfunding is totally different from the former. It is used to present a product, getting bookings before even producing it. You can present on a web platform your product or even your idea of product. The reward offered is the product itself, and the donation is the price. So you have the opportunity to launch something to get a lot of feedbacks that might improve your project. You make a great free market test, and what is more important, you have the possibility to start the production only once a minimum quantity have been ordered, so to safely break even. If the fundraising doesn't hit the target, you don't take the money and abort the project. Instead, if you have success, you can start to work in order to deliver the pre-ordered items to the crowdfunders. This is nothing different from a pre-sale, and in fact, the campaign is subject to ordinary e-commerce rules and taxation. What is interesting is that figures show that this model of reward-based crowdfunding is being used also for B2B projects. Some crowdfunders subscribe to the campaign offering large checks and booking quantity of rewards to resell in their shops. It is definitely e-commerce, but with all the flavor, atmosphere, and engagement of crowdfunding world, beside the advantage of getting free expertise from the crowd. Whatever model is used, in no case reward-based crowdfunding is a kind of investment. It might be a charitable operation or a sophisticated e-commerce tool that in no case makes a crowdfunder a shareholder of the company who launched a campaign.